In 2009, a strange mystery emerged on Reddit. It started small, but soon turned into one of the most bizarre internet rabbit holes, later dubbed the Lake City Quiet Pills case. It remains one of the creepiest stories on the web, and to this day, no one's solved it. The whole thing began with a Reddit user called Religion of Peace, who was eventually identified as someone named Milo. Milo was already a controversial figure since he moderated the now infamous Jailbait subreddit. He had a pretty shady reputation from the start. That subreddit was known for distributing disturbing content and was eventually banned from Reddit. But that's a story for another time. Milo also claimed he was a military veteran, bragging about having served in places like the Cold War and even during the Battle of Normandy. Some users believed him and found his military knowledge impressive. Others, though, thought he was making it all up. He was odd for another reason too. He claimed to be 80 years old but was extremely active on Reddit. Naturally, that made people even more skeptical. On May 18, 2009, Milo posted a link to a new website, LakeCityQuietPills.com. He called it, quote, "that old guy's image host." At first glance, it just seemed like a plain image-sharing site, nothing fancy. But the name, Quiet Pills, rubbed people the wrong way. Something about it didn't sit right. It felt like there was a hidden meaning behind the name. Fast forward to July 17, 2009, Milo left his final comment on Reddit. It was a rant complaining about spam. Just hours after that, a new account showed up with the name 226, announcing that Milo had passed away. According to that post, he died at his computer. He had no family, and left behind only a few personal items. And that's when the weirdness really began. A few Reddit users got curious and started digging into the LakeCityQuietPills.com site. They uncovered something chilling. Hidden in the page's source code were strange messages that looked like job ads. But these weren't ordinary jobs. They sounded like they were recruiting for secret operations. Examples included things like, immediate need 12 ESS, Spanish speaking, no papers required, and, for 24/7 DP, English speakers, Spanish fluency a plus. The wording was full of military-style codes and odd phrases. One person noted that, WW, probably meant, wet work, which is a known code for assassination. Then the story got even more intense. In 2010, a real-life event seemed to match up with this strange story. On January 19, 2010, a Hamas arms dealer named Mahmoud al-Mabhouh was murdered in a Dubai hotel. A team of agents smothered him, and they entered the country using fake passports. That hit took place on the very same day that the LakeCityQuietPills.com source code mentioned a party. The website even had a breakdown of costs related to this supposed party, hotel bookings, travel, and medical supplies. The total came to nearly $94,000. Given the day and the amount of money spent, people started thinking the party was actually code for an assassination. It felt way too close to be coincidence. This led users to dig even deeper into the site and its connections. They found out that the 226 account was tied to another online alias, Angel_2.6. That username had been active on other forums like FAR.com since way back in the early 2000s. To make things even creepier, Angel_2.6's email address was linked to the LakeCityQuietPills domain. It was literally Angel.2.6 at LakeCityQuietPills.com. These discoveries painted a picture of a highly organized group that possibly had military or even criminal ties. Soon, people started interpreting Lake City Quiet Pills as slang for bullets. Lake City itself was the name of an ammo plant in Missouri that produced tons of rounds every year. So the phrase might have meant ammunition all along. For years, internet users have argued over what it all means. The most common theory is that the website was actually a job board for professional assassins. Some believe the use of military terms and code suggests the team behind it were ex-soldiers who had left official service. There were even links made to covert intelligence agencies and black ops. But the truth? Still a total mystery. After 2010, the website stopped getting updates. Eventually, the site disappeared completely. In 2015, an unusual YouTube account popped up under the name Unfavorable Semicircle. Almost instantly, it captured the attention of Reddit users, puzzle solvers, and online conspiracy fans. What made it so strange wasn't just how creepy it was how massive and confusing the whole thing quickly became. In less than a full year, the channel posted tens of thousands of weird, cryptic videos. YouTube shut it down in 2016. The account went live in March 2015, and things started fast. Within days, it began uploading videos. The very first one had the Sagittarius zodiac symbol and the number 23511. It was just a 4-second video of a blurry brown screen with no audio. Simple, but definitely unsettling. More videos came quickly after that. The number of uploads started to explode. Thousands of bizarre clips started showing up, each one weirder than the last. The uploads were strange in more ways than one. A lot of the titles had the Sagittarius symbol for reasons no one could explain. Most of the footage showed pixelated screens, random dots, or abstract shapes. Sometimes the screen was just black. Some of the clips were completely silent, while others had odd static or warped voices reading numbers and letters. The lengths didn't follow a pattern. Some clips lasted only a few seconds. Others stretched for hours. The longest video posted on the channel ran for 11 full hours. But the weirdest part was how fast the uploads were coming. At first, it posted something every 10 minutes. By 2016, uploads were happening every 20 seconds. When the channel finally got taken down, there were more than 200,000 total uploads. As news spread online, Reddit started a whole community to try and figure out what the channel was. Theories began pouring in. Some people believed it was a modern version of a number station, those old broadcasts used during the Cold War to send messages to spies. The random numbers and letters made that theory feel possible. But the video format didn't really match the structure of classic number stations. Others suggested it was part of an ARG, an alternate reality game where clues are hidden across media. The clips did seem like puzzle pieces, but no hints were given. That didn't fit with most ARG formats. Some people compared it to WebDriver Torso, a Google account used to test YouTube quality. But the strange visuals and scary sounds felt too extreme for simple tests. In 2022, someone claimed to be the creator and said it was just an art project. They said it was about exploring randomness and confusion. But most people didn't buy that. The amount of effort involved just didn't add up. Lots of people believed it served a darker purpose. Maybe it was being used for criminal activity, or psychological testing. Out of all the videos, a few stood out from the rest. There were several with names like Lock and Delock, still using that Sagittarius symbol. People thought those clips might be the key to understanding the project. They had flashing lights and bizarre sounds. By breaking down the videos frame by frame, some viewers said they saw a low-quality version of the Voyager Golden Record, the disk NASA sent into space to represent Earth. There were more clues, too. Near the end of the channel's life, a new set of videos appeared called Brill, all numbered in order. They looked more organized than the others. Still, no one cracked the meaning. The most popular upload by far was the 11-hour video. It was nearly silent but supposedly made some computers freeze or crash. On February 25, 2016, just hours after BBC posted an article about the mystery, YouTube banned the whole channel. The reason wasn't officially explained. But the most common guess is that the insane upload count triggered spam filters. YouTube never gave any answers, which only made the theories more intense. After the ban, things got stranger. A few similar accounts showed up briefly on Google+ and Twitter, posting a couple of videos before vanishing again. The final known upload was titled Reset, again with the Sagittarius symbol. It was uploaded in 2017, but deleted just 30 minutes later. That was the last time anyone saw anything from the project. Still, many people think the channel had a darker purpose, and that we've only seen the surface of something much bigger. If you've ever spent time exploring old internet mysteries, chances are you've heard of Mortis.com. It's one of the most talked about sites from the web's early days, a mix of mystery, fear, and unanswered questions. It comes from a time when the internet was still wild and mostly unknown. What made Mortis.com so creepy wasn't what it showed, but the fact that no one could figure out what it even was. Even today, it stands as one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in online history. The site first went live on November 14, 1997. It looked simple at first, just a black screen with white text. All it had was a login box asking for a username and password. There were no instructions, no links, no About section. If you didn't have login info, there was literally nothing else to see. That alone wouldn't be too strange. Many private sites require passwords. But what made this one stand out was the sheer size of it. Investigators later found out Mortis.com was hosting terabytes of data. That's a lot now, but back in the 90s, it was almost unheard of. Most people still used dial-up internet back then. Hard drives were measured in megabytes, not terabytes. One single file was said to be 39 gigabytes, still huge today. For that time period, it was insane. And the name Mortis didn't help, it's Latin for death. Whether that was meant to be edgy or symbolic, it gave the site a very eerie feel. Mortis.com probably would have stayed forgotten if people on message boards hadn't stumbled across it. Places like 4chan/x/ and boards began investigating. Someone discovered the site and shared it, and things escalated quickly. A few users claimed they got partial access and downloaded some files. But no one ever said exactly what they found. That only made the story stranger. Did they find something too disturbing to share? Were they silenced? Or did they find nothing and didn't want to admit it? Here's where things get even weirder. Most websites leave some trace behind when they go offline. That's where the Wayback Machine comes in. It saves snapshots of websites over time. But Mortis.com was completely excluded from that archive. The site used a file called robots.txt to block all web crawlers. That might sound small, but it was a big deal. Whoever created Mortis.com clearly didn't want its contents saved. Why would someone go to that length unless they had something to hide? Records showed the domain was tied to a man who also owned other strange websites. Names like Cthulhu.net, EternalNight.com, KarenLing.com, and JoshuaL.org. Cthulhu.net had only one page that read, Dead but Dreaming. EternalNight.com just showed a glowing chess piece. The other two were dead links. They were supposedly owned by fake design firms run by people who had died years earlier. People also found links between Mortis.com and random businesses. One address belonged to a dentist office that didn't exist. Others were linked to a lamp store, a B&B, and a security company. The connections were weak, but they made things feel even creepier. When asked, the owner said Mortis.com was just private cloud storage. He said he used it to keep wedding photos and other files. But let's be honest, who needs industrial-strength encryption for pictures? And why store them in a way that keeps everyone out? Some rumors even said the FBI got involved. Back on 4chan, hackers became obsessed with breaking into the site. Even experienced ones made no progress. Some claim they got in and found massive files with weird names. Then they vanished or refused to say more. That sparked more rumors that the FBI had warned them. Others said the owner shut the site down when it got too much attention. Whatever the truth, most people eventually gave up. They were scared they were getting into something too serious. The whole site disappeared before anything could be proven. And that left more questions than answers. People have floated every theory you can imagine. Some think it was just a personal movie server or media storage. Investigators found signs of an embedded video player. But that doesn't explain the secrecy, the vibes, or the encryption. Others say it was hiding something darker, illegal content, maybe worse. The fake names, fake addresses, and lockdown files make it plausible. Even now, I feel like we're missing something. Why block the Wayback Machine? Why use so much space and security? Why the FBI? If the owner took it offline himself, what was he covering up? Mortis.com may be a mystery we never solve. But chances are, there's a reason for that. Whatever was on it, maybe it was better left hidden.